The Time Waster's Clock. Once. Once upon a time, in the quiet town of Willow Vale, there lived a boy named Leo, who was the world's greatest procrastinator. Whether it was schoolwork, chores, or even getting out of bed, Leo always told himself, "I'll do it later." One evening, while avoiding his homework yet again, Leo wandered into his grandfather's attic. The place was packed with strange old things, but one object caught his eye: a tall golden clock covered in dust. It had no numbers, just a single glowing hand that ticked ever so slowly. Curious, Leo wiped the dust away, and the moment he touched the clock, the hand spun wildly. Suddenly, the room twisted, and in the blink of an eye, he was in the future. Leo found himself in his own bedroom. But everything looked different. The posters were faded, his books were untouched, and his homework was still unfinished. But now, there were stacks of overdue notices, failed tests, and a mountain of chores piled up everywhere. Then, he heard a voice. "Ah, you finally showed up." Leo spun around to see an older version of himself, tired, messy, and overwhelmed. "You kept saying later for so long that later finally arrived," his future self said with a sigh. Leo's heart sank. He had thought procrastination was harmless, but now he saw where it led. "How do I fix this?" he asked desperately. His older self pointed to the golden clock, now sitting on the desk. "You have one chance," he said. "Turn back time. But this time, don't waste it." Leo grabbed the clock, and with a final spin, whoosh, he was back in the attic, in his own time. His homework sat untouched on his desk downstairs, just as before. But this time, instead of saying, "I'll do it later," Leo took a deep breath, sat down, and got to work. And from that day on, whenever he felt like putting things off, he remembered the golden clock and the warning from his future self. Because now he knew, every later eventually becomes now.